Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with more of the Counselor Reacts. Today, we're checking out the PlayStation 5 Pro reveal. That's right, I have heard some things on Twitter, and I have to see it for myself. This is late. I apologize. This came out, what, 2 days ago? Your boy has a life, and there's been a lot of things going on, so I have not paid attention to all the gaming world, but I do want to talk about PlayStation because I have a PlayStation and an Xbox, like even with my PC and a Switch, like I have everything. So I'm qualified to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it once we watch it. I want to see what they're trying to sell us. How much of an improvement is this system? Let's find out. Rating pending.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be
What's
here
up,
to talk
Mark?
about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it
Wow.
advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5
Oh, it glows.
and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
Wait, hold on.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table.
I'm gonna stop right now. Yeah, it did. God of War, absolutely. I was one of the first people during COVID. I worked at Walmart, by the way, but I got mine from I got my Xbox from Walmart because we got it in stock and I was able to go on break. You can't hold them, by the way. People think, oh, you're just holding it. No, you have to be on break, like not break, but I mean like lunch. I think it was lunch. You have to be clocked off. You cannot be on the clock to purchase anything like that's limited because of reasons, obviously. So I clocked out for lunch and I immediately went and asked for them because I knew that they were in the back getting ready to be put out. And I was like, I want one. I know it's here. I know it's in the back. Give me it. I was a customer. I bought it and I took it home and it was so good for like 3 minutes and I haven't really touched it that much. I'm sorry, Xbox. But PlayStation, I got it during the epidemic. I went and waited outside of Best Buy. That's right. I waited. I was on the phone, and I was like, I'm getting you. As soon as it popped up, I clicked it, and it was like, bam, got it. And I went straight to the Best Buy that was like 10 miles away from me, but I drove down that way, and I got my PlayStation. And I think I put a lot of money into it just because I bought God of War 1, God of War, then God of War Ragnarok, obviously, Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy Remake, Rebirth, whatever. And then Final Fantasy, was it 17, whatever? Yeah. Anyways, short story, that was a wild time during the pandemic, but your boy was still gaming.
Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching...
I can't wait to see that game on PC.
And frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames.
I don't know if Borderlands is the game you want to show off, because the art really, like, I'm going to be honest. When you look at Borderlands art, no one's like, man, the graphics of the cartoon-ish. Wow, it's so high def. I don't think people care.
A second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details
Tomb Raider
to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas.
I don't know what the game is.
Ray tracing allows for dramatic
Jedi Survivors.
Including
I've heard some good things about this game.
Water or glass.
I almost want to play it too.
The realism that comes from real-time global illumination.
Avatar.
Custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed.
I've never played this, by the way. None of these
transitions between game worlds.
Not one single. Spider-Man never played either.
So high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion.
Dark
to the sound of
Souls.
games.
No, Demon Souls. Sorry, that's Demon Souls. I still haven't beat it.
Real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where
Returnal.
they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside.
It looks like the same controller.
It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
Creators? Are Are you talking about like publishers, like game publishers? Or are you talking about like YouTube streamer creators? We do need to emphasize that because it's becoming more and more mainstream that people are interacting with creators.
The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players.
Okay, that's cool. So you can have better...
emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering.
That's neat.
These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Any system that is still running at 30 frames is useless, except for the Switch, because people love handhelds. And honestly, I'll give it a pass. Zelda was a banger, even though I didn't play it on the Switch. Besides the point of that, like, yeah, if it's 30, it's dead. Like, you have to be 60. And the reality that we live in, if it's not 60, it's dead.
Mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
Listen, graphics
When
is
asked
great.
to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5.
That's smart.
We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire.
So I'm interjecting a lot because it's just confusing. So you're telling me that you had to buy the Pro for this package? You couldn't just do a new generation of regular PlayStation 5s that give that option? Or is it just like preset, you're always going to have performance mode or game mode? Because I don't actually remember whether the PlayStation 5 has 30 or 60 right now. Yeah, I mean, overall, like, I don't see why you couldn't dual both unless it's just not in the software to be able to have like a performance mode. If it, or a fidelity where it gives it better graphics. It could just be, that could be the case. I don't know.
Aspire to at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation.
You know what? It's going to bother me. So we're doing it now. We're doing it live. Let's see. PS5 stats. Specs. That was the word. Specs. Look at the specs. I got to know the specs. I don't care about anything else but specs. Bro, we had specs and it didn't even, like, GPU. Okay. AMD. Storage. 60 FPS. Okay. Of all the PS5 Pro, the thing is, we hit a point where while 60 FPS was intended to be the standard, everyone wants to shove in ray tracing on their poorly optimized games just for buzzword effect, basically. This means that games at their full quality shoot for 30 since it's been accepted for a while, but most games do have a 60 FPS mode. I think the purpose of this Pro model isn't to hit 60. It's to hit 60 in quality mode. Pretty much. They want ray tracing to be more standard in 60 FPS. It won't make games that run on 60 suddenly be 60 or 30 be on 60, but it might improve graphics in 60. If they want ray tracing 60, I'll turn it off to get 120. I really don't care for it after all. I mean, I think that is probably, ray tracing seems like that is the big selling point. But there it is. It was intended to be 60, but with them games shoving ray trace in there, it does seem like it bogs down the frames to like 30, or people are just doing 30 in general. Like it's not on the console, it's more in the games that are coming out that are 30, which is overall, I think, is a big fat L.
5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses.
That's huge.
The result is rendering that's up to 45%.
Wow.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing.
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest. When I think ray tracing, I only care about ray tracing if it's on like PC. Even half the time, I don't even care about ray tracing. Like, I think most people prefer quality in the gameplay versus in the graphics. If they were going to choose one or the other, they would rather have gameplay. And the reason I know is because you have people playing games from like 30 years ago, not 30 years ago, but like, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, older games that the graphics are pretty, they're outdated, but the gameplay is fun. And so people don't care. And I feel like new games need to follow this premise. If you can add advanced ray tracing after making a good game, sure. But I don't think that should be the focus. Like, hey, our selling point is just this, not the gameplay.
Streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning.
Wow.
An AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution.
Or PSSR. They said the thing, AI. Holy crap, the world's gonna be on fire now. They said AI. You can't say AI. That's a bad word.
For short.
I'm being facetious. I actually truly do not care.
PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles.
He said game creators. Thank you. Why can't we just say publishers? Publishers? I think that's acceptable, right? Publishers? Studios?
And with the big three involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail.
Game that I
super smooth
do not like.
Frames per second.
Wow.
Let's compare this.
I can't wait to see the high quality on PS5 Pro as Joel's head gets beaten in by a baseball bat by a character you don't care about, but they want you to love.
Quality mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier. This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Is this game worth playing? Someone tell me. I like the idea of Venom.
Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is
this game worth playing? Let me know in the comments down below.
Another way to compare.
Hold on. Well, I wasn't paying attention. What was the difference? I'm not seeing any difference. Is it like it's slightly like grainier? I'm gonna be honest. I don't see a difference. It seems about the same to me.
And Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah,
we can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way
I can't tell the difference. I will be honest. That I'm gonna say most people aren't gonna tell the difference. Let's just be honest. Someone's be like, I saw it. I know the difference. You're probably the small minority that cares and will notice, but your average consumer, they're gonna look at that and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the model I already have.
Is to look at PS5 Pro versus performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second.
Wait. So there is a difference. There's a performance mode and a fidelity mode.
What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
So here you have like, you can see that it's a little like blurry, but here it's not blurry. See here, the words over here, you can't read them. Here, you still can't read them, or at least I can't read them from here, but they look clean. Same thing. You can't read them, but they're blurry. Here, you still can't read them, but they're clean. I'll be honest. This is not much of a selling point to me. All I care is if it runs like 120 frames, I'm there you go. I like frames. I don't care about the graphics. I just want things to run smoother.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer.
Who cares? I'm sorry. Am I the only one that cares? Like, dude, I got to make sure I see Bob back here clear. I want to make sure I get my quality out of my game. Absolutely screw what's going on. I want to make sure I see Bob. I want to see him flirting with Sharon. Why are you flirting with Sharon back there? We can't tell that Sharon, but now we can kind of see Sharon. Like, I want to see, I'm sorry, I'm being facetious, but it's just like, I love when they try to sell you stuff that you don't care about. People will think that they do, like, oh my God, it's such an improvement. It's not. I'm sorry. No one cares about this.
And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene,
No one
including the
cares.
trees and procedural cars.
Oh my God, the trees! Holy crap, the trees. I love the meme from Nintendo Switch of Pokemon where the tree is like all buggy and people were like blown away by that. They're like, oh my God, that tree is so bad. The trees! I've got to be able to go. I want to feel like I can eat one of these leaves. If it doesn't look like I can eat the leaves, I don't care. Bro, you go outside. How many people care about what leaves look like outside in the real world? No one. Except unless you're a tree person. Like, no one's going out there like, oh, I can see the trees. Oh, the leaves. I'm just sorry. The amount of detail people care about, like, in real life is almost as much as they care about the detail in this game. No one cares about the trees unless the trees are acting wacky or they're like one-dimensional where you can walk past it and you're like, oh, well, that looks like a JPEG. You know, that's one thing, or a PNG, should I say. No one cares about this.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games.
So
PS5
remarkable.
Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning...
The only value is the larger GPU, or yeah, the GPU, because that means it's going to run smoother. That's the only thing that matters. Ray tracing, knowing, like, who cares? AI-driven upscaling. Does that mean we can play older games? Like, if I play, is it going to make it look better? Bro, I can just use an emulator on PC and make it look good.
Via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for...
That is the selling point that I care about.
Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects.
Okay.
As well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
I'm sorry. That did they use PC? Because this looks like PC. Did they use PC? I feel like it is PC because look at that. The background's blurry, and they were very proud to show that background is not blurry with the PS5 Pro. Yeah, this is definitely PC.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding...
What a weird interaction.
Well, particularly when the games are focused on high
Good enough for me.
rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro...
That's all that
can
matters.
Make a real difference.
Faster is only better.
Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay.
Bro, no one cares about ray tracing.
While continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh.
Allowing not only...
I love the graphics of the ray tracing and all the graphics. I can see things on the floor. That's 10 out of 10.
Better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces.
I'm being facetious, but I low-key put in like graphic textures on Minecraft. But that's because, you know, you can. What if you can do it on PC, you might as well do it, and it's free. This is not going to be free. You have to pay for this, and who cares?
But also for further realism in the casting of shadows.
Oh, realism! I need that in my fantasy wizard game.
Of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
Whoa! Holy crap! It's better than sex! Holy crap, where's my credit card? I'm gonna go buy one now. Good game, by the way. Good game. And really good game. It should be on PC, though.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Bad game. Bad game. Should have never existed. Game makes me rage.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Wow, look at all these games. Hey, y'all think Destiny's gonna be on here? You think they're gonna represent Destiny on this? I'm just curious. Just gonna throw that out there. Okay, so they're just showing off games. I don't see Destiny. I just want it for the funny of saying, hey, they didn't even bother put the thing they spent the most money on. They didn't even bother put it in the game. Wait, is that Nexon? No. I was about to say if they. Oh, that's I think Dragon Age. I'm just going through. Yeah, they didn't even put Destiny on it. $700 for vertical. Dude, you're spending $700 and the vertical stands sold separately, bro. You can't, I don't understand. You're spending $700 and you can't even give someone a cheap plastic stand. Bro, listen, this is not meant for anyone besides whales and people who are dumb. I'll be honest. Like, most people are not going to afford this. Listen, consoles are for three people. Broke boys, people with family, and people who want to play just exclusives that are only on that console because they refuse to put it on PC. That's it. And I know people are going to be upset about the broke boy comment. Listen, I can say that because I own all of mine for titles. But outside of that, when I first got my consoles, it's because I was a broke boy who couldn't afford a PC. Listen, let's be honest. Consoles for the broke boys. People who can't afford it. And I know what that was like. I had to save for my 360. I had my job at Walmart and I had to save for it. And the moment I got it, I felt so excited that I finally got to play some good games. I was so happy I was able to be a gamer. Like, besides the old consoles that I had, I was able to be into the next generation. And I get it. But this is not for the broke boys. Broke boys can't afford $699. Hell, I would say save up $300 more and you can get yourself a low-end PC that can probably do more. You have more options and versatility than this. But I don't think this is meant for the mainstream population, which makes you wonder that why are they wasting their time in development, especially with games that are dying on PlayStation, to make something for like the people who are whales or have a lot of expendable money. Why are they making this when there's like 5 games that are worth playing on the console as all? Like right now, my PlayStation along with my Xbox, there's nothing there for but decoration, except for the 5 games that I decide maybe I'll play. There's not a lot of choices. There's nothing like, wow, really need to go out and buy it. There's not a single game out there that I could say, yes, you should definitely spend $700 on just to play this one game. There's not a single one. I find this laughable. And a lot of people, like, it's not just me, a lot of people are flaming them. And I want to say that I don't give a crap about console wars because I feel the same way about Xbox. If they were to do the same thing, I would say, why? When I have a PC that can do what Xbox does. I also have access to Game Pass, which is how I played the beta early. And how I'm going to play Black Ops 6. I'm going to be playing on Game Pass for like $11. Cheers. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I found this to be pretty funny. Like, the biggest selling point is ray tracing. Oh, guys, you can see the guy in the background better. No one cares. Absolutely no one cares about that and the AI upscaling. People want quality games first. And if you're not PlayStation, if you're not pumping up quality games, no one gives a crap. Stop making games like Concord that no one wants to play and make games that people do want to play. And then start asking them to spend $700. Just saying. I can see why people are mad because they're not actually focusing on games. They're focusing on making money in general without actually making things that gamers want. We'll see how that works, Cotton. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go spend $700 on this paperweight? Or is it not going to be paperweight to you? And you're going to use every last dollar until you die? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, game out.